just from the flow of this schedule, and you don't know how injuries are going to affect anything like that too, do you like it?
Well, you know what, we certainly appreciate the opponents that we have on here, and it's certainly different than we had last year. Last year we opened up with Kansas, and then we returned right after a road game against Kansas to play Northern Iowa, and that's a difficult chore, and we didn't fare very well against Northern Iowa. This Lafayette club, I will tell you, they're a good, solid football program. They're a perennial power in the Patriot League, and you can go, Patriot League, who's a Patriot League? Well, Lehigh was in there. They won it. They beat Northern Iowa. They're a big, sturdy, strong football team that, comes from the East Coast, and we're going to need to be prepared well to go and have a chance to win that game. And then, we're pleased that we've got 2 home games. And without question, for our fans to see Bison football, opening on September 3rd is going to be great. Our players are excited about it, and I know personally as a football coach, I'm really excited about this football team.
Well, the fans are going to see. I mean, my goodness, speaking of Northern Iowa, they've got you've got them at home, and that's always a good thing. Doesn't guarantee a win, but you've got them at home. I've seen that.
Well,
down
I
there.
can tell you, the last time we played them at home, we had a big fight. Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
We have a great deal of respect for Northern Iowa, but I can tell you, there's no love lost between the 2 programs. And our guys came out the ramp. They were fighting mad the last time we were at the Dome, and so that's way down the road, but Valley football is really good.
Let's talk about Valley football a little bit too, and specifically the quarterbacks in this conference, Craig, and is it a mixture? I see some guys that like to use their legs quite a bit. I see other guys that could just step back five steps back and air it out a little bit. What are you up against from your defensive side of things?
Well, you see some groups. Northern Iowa's quarterback is extremely gifted, and we couldn't tackle him last year. And you find some other quarterbacks. Quarterback at Illinois State is much more of a pocket passer. I don't know what Western Illinois is going to have. Last year they had a great quarterback. South Dakota State's quarterback's more of a pocket passer. This league is a little bit of a throwback league, Jack. Okay. It's more of pro-style offenses where they're going to come out and, hey, you better get ready to strap it on. It's a physical, hard-nosed league. And as a result of that, those quarterbacks complement it more along the lines of pro-style football.
If you're only as good, I won't use the term as your weakest link because that would connotate that you have a lot of weaknesses. But let's say your most inexperienced link, Craig. Where are some of those areas going to have to be?
Well, I think we're certainly concerned about the wide receiver position. We don't have Warren Holloway's coming back off of a knee surgery. It'll be interesting to see how he progresses in fall camp. But if outside of Warren, we don't have really another proven player. We've got some young players who we recruited a year ago who bring a great deal of promise. Ryan Smith, Zach Farrar, Trevor Gephardt are all players who really have great potential, but they're young. They don't hardly shave yet. And so one of those guys is going to be in a starting role. And so that's an area of concern. Another area of concern is that defensive line. Matt Grotzik has now departed. We've got some big shoes to fill. Now, Levon Perry's moving over to that tackle spot, but whether Ryan Drevelo from Gwinner or Justin, one of those younger guys has got to come to the forefront in the defensive line.
Greg Bohl, head football coach, North Dakota State University, joining us in studio today. We're kind of excited about that. He referenced that first game is September 3rd. That is, it's August 1st, for goodness sakes.
Time is clicking,
August 1st.
Jack. I'm so doggone excited. I've got a big clock in my office. How many days till the first game? 2 days.
If you ever wanted to be
10 hours and 11 minutes.
How does a big-time coach do it now? When you get these guys into camp, are you sit there and put a shoe in the behind? Do you sit there and lay them down? Do you knock them on the head a little bit? Or are you more of the instructional to break out into your camps? What is it with today's athlete? How do you got to treat them today?
You know what? Young people are no different than when I was playing. They want to be challenged. They want to be encouraged. They want to be shown how they can become better. I will say young people are a little bit different in respects. Back when you and I were playing, Jack, Coach said do this. You just did it.
Right.
Now I think kids are going to say, okay, now, Coach, why am I running out here in 110 degrees, this and that?
Exactly, right. Right. We didn't do this in high school.
Yeah, and you want me to go and my leg doesn't hardly work anymore? What are we doing this for?
It's a different breed, though, now. Well, they're texting, they're Twittering, they're more socially, they're getting feedback from all over the place, for goodness sakes.
All over the place, and I think coaches need to be adapted at that. But still, young people, our group is very focused, and they understand the legacy of Bison football. We want to return Bison football back to national prominence, and so we got a big chore ahead of us. But I can tell you this, as a football coach, I think it's important for me as a head football coach to stay pretty even-keeled and very consistent. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. The first game is right around the corner, but we need to take a long-term approach and get this football team ready to go.
Fill in the blank with Craig Bohl. I know defense wins. That's Craig has made his living, and he did it at the biggest and highest level of football, defensively speaking. But you will score points this year if. What's the end of that sentence?
Well, I think we're going to score points if we're able to throw the ball a little bit more efficiently. We need to get up to where we're completing. Look at our year-ending statistics, Jack. If we're throwing the ball in the 60% range and our quarterback efficiency rating is higher, you're going to see us be real successful. That sounds like a dichotomy.
No.
I mean, typically we're going to play defense and run the football,
right?
But we have got to throw the ball better than what we've had.
And you got to put up points. I mean, you have to score points in this league.
Well, I think we leveraged our football team last year by saying, hey, well, let's play great defense, play great field position, and don't turn the ball over. And, we're going to need to score more points this year. That's just the bottom line. And so I know our offensive coaches have been looking and leveraging our strength. Certainly we'll possess some strengths with our running game.
Yep.
And I think we need to leverage that.
Right, and true. If you turn the ball over and give up possessions, obviously you have less opportunity to put points on the board. I know that it's all about the defense, though, too. I know that
things won't change.
It's always been.
Jack, we won't. We're going to be great on defense. We're going to strive to be great on defense, and that's going to be our premise.
You got a kicking game, too. Well, no, you lost. You got a little bit.
John Prelovitz.
Yeah. Mm.
Second in the country in net punting. So those are hidden yardage a lot of people don't talk about.
That's big time stuff right there. He is Craig Bohl. Hopefully you'll be able to enjoy some of your summer, by the way. I know you're already wrapped into these press conferences and coming on shows and all that, but have you?
I have. My golf game still sucks. I can't get any better. I tried to do a little bit of fishing, spent some time with my kids back in Nebraska, but it's time to play football, Jack.
We bumped into Craig's wife. She says you rarely golf.
She's lying. I'm bad, though. I am bad. I'm not. I know Mike McFeely in here. I hear him. He's an accomplished golfer and a great fit. I'm just not skilled like he is.
Well, that's good that you can be able to get out there. Always good to have Craig. We'll have Craig in studio and as often as possible. Good to see you, buddy. Good luck this year.
Great to be on the Fan.
Craig Bohl, head coach of the North Dakota State University, joining us in studio today in the Jack Michaels Show. As he mentioned, the Bison begin Saturday, September 3rd against Lafayette. That game right here in Fargo at the fabulous Fargo Dome. We're back with more right after this on 740.